up, buds? Welcome to another episode of the Earbuds Podcast, a podcast where two good buds talk about one good album for a good amount of time, but not today. Not today. Today we are reconvening after, I don't know, a year of radio silence.
Over a year
of radio silence to talk about our 5 favorite albums that came out this year, and also like 5 albums we've been listening to a lot this year.
Yeah, I think man, like you're the one that brought this up. I've been really fucking excited to record, and I don't know, man, like I had a weird year with music, so like I'm super curious how because like I had to really stretch to pick my 5 albums of this year.
Well, part of a good part of the reason I wanted to do this with you is to make you listen to these fucking albums I've been recommending you.
Yeah,
and force you to do it.
That was a good that was a good strategy, because like as much as I wanted to listen to some of this stuff, I've been so caught up on my own like music journey this year that it's nothing really took my attention away from a really deep rabbit hole I've been going down this year.
When we were doing weekly episodes about albums that came out like a day or two previous, it still felt like I could not be in the modern realm of music.
Yeah.
It felt like I was so divorced from whatever was going on in music.
Yeah, me too. Like I feel like I've been pretty disconnected for a solid 6, 7, 8 years.
And I still feel that way too. And I don't know. I look at year-end lists every year, and I am always looking for new stuff. But there were some albums that came out this year that I feel very strongly about, and I've just been excited to talk about them with somebody.
With anybody.
Recommending them to people. With anybody.
Oh, dude. I mean, are you learning now that you can recommend anything to anyone and they're not going to care? Have you finally, has that sunk in yet
I learned that lesson a long time ago.
Yeah. No one gives a fuck
new,
for some reason.
But
yeah, I mean, and including me. I don't know why. Like, I literally just like couldn't bring myself to listen or watch some of the things that has been working. Like, I've been so in my own mode that I haven't wanted to like get out of it.
I think something I've learned recently is that everyone, in listening to music in particular, everyone has a preferred time, place, way that they're going to do it. And if that thing isn't happening, they're not going to listen to music.
Yeah. And that's a thing that I have to like really honestly, actively, intentionally do, is try to listen to more music.
Because I really only ever listen to music whenever something else is happening, whether that's going on the bus to my work, right, or I'm playing some fucking video game or something.
Right. It's like wallpaper sometimes on my place, but it's just like, it's just kind of always on, in the background.
It's very rare that like I just sit down and just like listen to an album and do nothing else.
Yeah. Like I can't remember the last time I just like sat down and listened to a record and did nothing else.
It's been a good bit.
Yeah. But I've been listening to a ton of fucking music this year. It's just I haven't been really interested. Even like Viagra Boys. I fucking love Viagra Boys. I've loved them forever. And it was like doing this episode was a reason why I even listened to the new album. I was interested. Mm-hmm. I wanted to listen to it. I saw when it came out. I had been waiting for it to come out, and I still just didn't listen to it. And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but yeah.
Tell me if you relate to this feeling of like, there'll be a lot of times when a new album comes out by an artist I like, and I'm scared to listen to.
Yeah, that happens a lot, especially
it's like,
an artist I like a lot.
Man, what if it?
Yeah.
There was especially in preparation for this episode of the podcast, I've been listening to a lot of albums that came out this year. One of those albums is an album by Hail the Sun, I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, I haven't.
We've never listened to them on the podcast. It's
Mm-mm.
just like a metal band.
Yeah, they sound
Um,
like a metal band.
and a band I've been listening to for a good while, and they released an album this year, and it's got like metal production on it, which I am so in modern metal production I am not a fan
Oh, dude,
of.
it's hor.
I'm not a fan of
Yes,
it at all.
I 100% agree.
It's has such a high priority on sounding big and sounding grand, which is not a bad thing in
And
itself,
sounding
but
perfect, which is really, really boring.
yeah, and
Really
sounding
boring.
like clean in a way that is odd to me for the genre.
Yeah,
Like bands like Sleep Token
yeah, I don't like it.
and Avatar have kind of crafted this modern sound
I feel like it all started with
that
Architects, right? Architects were the architect of that new sound for metal, right?
I haven't heard of them.
Oh,
But
dude, fucking go back and I think they were like what got gent to start like popping off or something. Because now I feel like every metal band is like a gent metal band. Like I can't stand gent riffs, dude. I just can't. I can't take it.
I I could have me a good gent riff every once in a while as a treat.
I'm all
I do
metalcore.
like that shit.
I'm just all
I j-
metalcore still.
I do love metalcore.
Yeah,
It's the pop metal that has
yeah,
been kind of baffling to me.
yeah. Really bad.
Um,
Genuinely, I think like bad music, objectively.
I
But
don't
people
know.
love it. But yeah,
But
like I
my
that's the thing is like if any metal that I've been listening to has just been going back to the metal that I know I like. Like anytime I've dipped into something new, even by bands that I used to like, I'm never impressed or happy with what I hear. And that kind of brings up like one of the bands that got me to start being nervous about when something new that comes out and I'm a little nervous to listen to it is King Gizzard. And for good reason, man.
oh,
It's just like
I
yeah, it's hard for me.
I mean, should we just kick it off?
Well,
Should we just start
here's the
talking
deal.
about it?
Like we each picked 5 records that we liked
Yep.
this year. I kind of had a hard time to picking mine because I actually went through a lot of duds and there was a lot of shit I did not like.
I think both you and I have been historically pretty critical of like other people's year end album lists,
Yeah,
you know?
I haven't even
And
really
it
looked at
just like
those. To be honest, what I did was I went on Wikipedia and just started going through the calendar of what came out last year, and I started
just
going in
look
order.
like were you just looking at the names of albums that you thought were cool
No, I
or
was looking
like
for bands that I knew I
artists
liked.
or
I was looking for bands that I knew I liked. So like I was saying like, oh, they came out with a new album. I didn't realize that. And there were a few like Dark Side. Their new album was really strange and off-putting. And the Starting Line, like someone recommended that their new album to me, that pop punk band from like the early 2000s. They're apparently still around. And they came up with a new album last year that is on a bunch of people's lists that I heard, and I didn't really like it that much. And so like I probably heard
damn.
like in the course of the last few months when I knew that we were recording this episode, I probably listened to like 10 albums that I ended up hating. And so the 5 that I picked, I'll be totally honest, they're just kind of the best of what I heard. Like I'm not like a huge fan of all of them, you know?
I well, I mean, I do like all of them that you've chosen. I've been kind of glancing off Viagra Boys lately,
See,
and that
they're the
I
one that
think
I
that's news to
fucking
you.
love, man. They're the one that I love. Unequivocally, like my favorite album of the year.
The Viagra Boys album, Viagra a
Plays.
Boys.
Yeah, it's oh man, it's so good. But yeah, so even going into this, I'm like, I didn't. Yeah, there's some albums that it's just like, yeah, I liked it, so I'll throw it up there, and what I have been listening to this year is I've been getting into that. I think a lot of people have been getting into this shit, that kind of world music, world jazz, kind of dancey music from like I've been listening to like bands from Turkey and and then I'll listen to like dub reggae next, and the next one will be, you know, some other like song from 1962, like an Italian like pop song, and then I'll go to some like that's been the lane I've been on.
It sounds like you're finally getting into like Luis's and Michael's tastes.
Yeah, I'm starting to dip into a lot of world music, man. Like a lot of African music and like Asian and Eastern European stuff. So it's just been like I've been vibing all year, and I think it's kind of like the only thing I want to listen to right now. So it's so weird listening to like Jid and going back to him and being like, wow, yeah, like, I forgot how good this is, but it's like I haven't listened to anything that has sounded remotely like that in over a year.
Well, I'm interested to. We've shared our 5 albums that came out in 2025, but not the albums that we've been listening to this year.
Yeah, you know,
I guess I'm interested to hear what you've been like, what albums, what artists you've been listening to.
I hadn't forgot about that part, but I can pull a few out.
I think you'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine.
I think you'll figure it out.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been a really fun year for music for me. So it was really interesting. Like I was genuinely surprised that your 4 out of your 5 are hip hop. Like I feel like we've switched.
I was surprised too.
Yeah.
But I remember recommending these albums to you and saying to you, like, there's like a rap renaissance happening right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of strong,
and maybe
material.
Maybe I'm just saying that because I am not usually so into like rap or hip hop.
Yeah.
But I don't know, these albums that we're about to talk about I've been cycling them nonstop. I've been really excited for what's going to come out after this, from these artists.
Yeah, and it's like where I had 0 rap albums on my top 5, you had 4.
Yeah, and
weird.
I was so like confused when you sent your list, because the main genre of music that you had been listening to previously when we were recording these more regularly was rap.
Yeah. And Action Bronson is still my number one, like what I've listened to on Spotify. Like in my Spotify Wrapped, Action was still number 1, but everything else was just so fucking random. And that shows you kind of like the evolution of taste that I've gone through this year, because to look at our top 5 and to see how we've completely like flip flopped on each other. Where I probably would have listened to mostly hip hop last year had I not gotten down this weird path.
I mean, there are a lot of albums by bands that you would like more expect from me. Like Psychedelic Porn Crumpets have released like 2 records this year. Which are good.
I liked them.
Yeah, they're good. They're not like,
I like one of them. I
don't know.
One. Can't remember which one.
There's been a Black Country New Road released an album. Geese, everyone's talking about that Geese album getting killed.
That's another one I checked out. I didn't like it.
I am so glad. I feel like we have similar like hot take shitty tastes.
Yeah.
When it comes to like bands like that. I've listened to that Geese album a couple times, and maybe it's just my ignorance, but I don't see what all the hype is about.
I honestly don't even remember it. I listened to it and just kind of like the whole time I'm like, I don't like this, and I don't remember anything about it. So I just wiped it from my memory. But there was, something that I was really surprised on. I was trying to like dip into some new rock music just to kind of see like what's out there right now. And nu metal is 100% back. And I even hear it in one of the albums that are in my top 5. Like I'm hearing nu metal influences on modern rock music. Like, and what sucks is that it's like the bad nu metal. It's the nu metal that didn't get popular.
There's no such thing as bad nu metal, actually.
Yes, there is. like that band Taproot and bands like that, like of that kind of level of musicianship and writing. That's where the new rock is like that level of like it's just pretty mediocre, a lot of it. Yeah. So I mean, I'm down to start getting into it. We can switch off like one every other Or
Yeah.
do you
It's
rather
not
talk,
not ranked, not
yeah,
listed.
not ranked or anything on no particular order? Or would you want to talk about real
Yeah.
quick before we get into our favorite albums of the year? What other albums we've listened to this year?
Yeah, let's talk about what we've been listening to
Yeah,
this year.
yeah.
You said you've been listening to a lot of world
A
music.
lot of world music. The first one that immediately comes to mind is an album called "In the Music, the Village Never Ends," and the artist is called Letta Umbuli, I think is how you pronounce her name. And this is an album that got re-released recently. I think one thing that, for how shitty Spotify is about most things, most aspects, it's what's been really cool is I'm seeing a lot of re-releases of this like 80s and 70s African dance and soul and funk music that never was released in the US before that. And I'm seeing all this stuff pop up on Spotify, and it's been really fun to listen to this like
Interesting.
music that was just so regional at the time, and now it's getting really popular. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I found that album through a song called Normalizo or Nomalizo. Is it like Nomalizo? Is how it goes. And it's just great 80s dance music and very like soulful too. And it's just an album that I've been like on repeat all year, but it's like from 1982 or something.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, you go now.
Okay. I've been I think I've been metalcore is kind of a new thing to me that I've only gotten into the last couple years. And one of my favorite albums that I've just been listening to on repeat is All's Well That Ends Well by Kyotos. Have you heard
that
of it?
album's so good. I haven't heard it in like
It is
15
so
years,
good.
but I fucking love that record, man.
It's so Kyotos has been involved in some controversy lately. Because it's just been the main singer, and he's basically recruited his other band to back him up as Kyotos.
Oh, okay.
They re-recorded this album in particular because I think it's like the 20-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people are theorizing that he was using the recordings from this re-recording in his live shows and lip singing,
Oh, okay.
like lip syncing to
Okay.
it. But All's Well That Ends Well is a fantastic fucking metalcore record.
Love that album, man. That one
that I haven't
that
been
one
able
has
to
the
get enough
booms.
of.
I think that's the first time I ever heard the boom. It was on that
The boom?
like right before a breakdown or something that like where the bass.
Oh shit! Like a bass drop or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Like that's the first time I
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that before, and I think it was like I was 18 or 19. Dude, fucking, I love that record, man.
To hide from my twisted ways, I've been hiding in this maze.
Yep, yeah. Dude, I haven't heard. I'm gonna pop that on now, man. I haven't heard that in so.
You should, dude.
Yeah,
Let's just stop.
that's gonna have me like
Drop
gripping the wall and fucking
everything.
like crying, singing along. I'm gonna have moments to that shit because that's when I was the most like hopeless romantic young kid.
Well, that's a fucking perfect record for you.
Yeah, I probably shed some tears to that record more than a few times, more than I care to remember. I bet. But my one of my other albums that I've been really fucking into is, have you heard of a band called Yin Yin?
I have not.
Yin Yin is they're from Holland. So but they're really, really like Eastern inspired, like very Asian inspired, and but they're like a funk band. And I don't normally like funk, and they're so much fun. This album came out in 2019. It's called The Rabbit That Hunts Tigers. And it's just
That sounds cool.
a new sound that I've never heard before, and they're super funky. And I saw them perform in San Diego like a few months ago, and it was just dancing the whole time, man, in this really small, really crowded little club with like low ceilings, and they're still not that big, but it was like their first US tour. So the place was packed, and it was just 1,000 people just dancing for like an hour and a half. And the bassist acts like a fucking sex pest on stage, like he's like staring girls down and like fucking gyrating
Oh my
towards them, and he's
God.
like 100% serious. And I'm like, oh, this guy is gonna get like Me Too'd in the next probably 10 years. But it's such a fun record, and it's crazy how much like dance adjacent music I've been listening to this year. I finally found like my dance music. You know, like the dance music that
Good for you, man.
yeah, finally, right? Like you were trying to get me into dance music and like pop music for so long, and it's like I just needed to find like my flavor of it, you know?
You just needed to leave the country, man.
And you know exactly, dude. All the stuff that I'm listening to, I'm like, it's cooler because it's in a language I don't speak, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of dancey tunes, another album I've been listening to is Future Me Hates Me by the Beths.
Yeah, you're telling me
we talked about it briefly
Yeah.
before we started recording. It's a power pop album. I think they're Australian. That could be very wrong.
I'll believe it because we've been saying it for years that Australia has been putting out the best music for the last consistently.
They're so ahead of the curve.
They're so ahead of the curve. So like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
It's unfair.
It's kind
so
of fucking
fucked up.
random, man, but it's awesome. Like it's so refreshing. And there's an Australian band on both of our lists of our top 5.
Yeah, for sure. This record is poppy. It's fun. It's rockin', with colorful lyrics that you almost wouldn't expect from something that is so almost bubblegum at points.
Colorful as in blue.
Yeah, as in different shades of opal, and I don't know. It's
you know
just,
what I mean by that, right? Like that means that they cuss.
No, I didn't know that, and they do not cuss that much. Sorry, it scares me.
Speak old phrases like a 38-year-old.
But just something that's been in constant rotation for me.
Yeah, that's cool. I need to check them out. I know I like one of their songs. But I'm into power pop, man. I love Elvis Costello and the Exploding Hearts and shit. Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, one of mine, I think you would be fucking into these guys. But one of my favorite albums of the last year also came out in 2016, though. But it's by a band called Mugshot. And Mugshot is like, they started out as like,
familiar.
They're a hardcore band. They're like very hardcore. But their new stuff, I don't like at all. Because now they're starting to do that fucking metal production that we were talking about.
It's such a shame.
Their sound so much to me. But their album Dull Boy, which I think technically is actually EP.
You've recommended this to me,
man.
You've recommended this to me earlier this year.
Yeah,
I think.
when I want something fucking, when I'm pissed and I want to listen to something, it's dude Dull Boy. Dull Boy sounds like, and I'm pretty sure I said the same thing to you. It sounds like if Slipknot wrote a hardcore album, and it's so good. And it's like they have
quite a sell.
Yeah, dude, right? Like it's so worth listening, and it has great production for a hardcore band. So because it's a hardcore band that's almost like produced like a metalcore band, but like still raw and like but the bass is fucking loud. You know, it's a really good full production, and everything that's come out after that album, I just can't get into because of the way it sounds. Like they just kind of changed it up enough. But that album,
tough.
I would totally check it out. And they do the classic hardcore thing that all their lyrics are weirdly really positive and optimistic, and they're fun,
encouraging, all about sticking with your friends.
Well, like I wouldn't say they're like positive and optimistic, but they're very the anger and the vitriol is pointed in the right direction, I guess is what I mean. So to me it's very positive and optimistic to hear a hardcore band like fully calling out this shit, and like, you know, I love it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Be sure to send these all to me, by the way.
I will, yeah.
All right. My next one is sticking in the metalcore region is Someday Came Suddenly by Attack Attack.
Wow. Oh, that makes so much sense that you like Attack Attack.
It's the perfect mix of like cheesy, almost goofy synth EDM pop vibes with hard metal breakdowns and riffs.
I think they were one of the first crabcore groups.
Yes, I believe they pioneered crabcore
Yes.
with this album. And Lily and I have been we wrote a an album worth of music like a year ago, and we just haven't finished it because vocals are difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's been pretty much just us trying to emulate these guys.
I mean, you hear that, and you hear fucking 100 gex, and you hear a lot of the stuff that's like I hear hyperpop in that genre of metalcore, like the kind of the beginnings of it to me. So it makes a lot of sense. I
Yeah.
like that shit. And I'll admit, I got into Attack Attack for a little bit there. I was so hungry for anything metalcore that like I would listen to anything at
Oh,
that point, and it was
it's
like
fucking awesome.
Attack Attack and Devil Wears Prada were like the two that I always tried to get into, and I just couldn't. Like they were just goofy or too like too emo enough for me to get that into it. You know?
That's a shame.
Yeah,
That's a crying shame.
yeah. Might be able to go back to it. All right. Well, I got one more, and then let's get into our top fives.
Okay.
Mine is this guy's huge now. It's an artist named Pale J, and the album is called The
Okay.
Celestial Suite. I'm sure you've heard some of these songs. This dude blew up like it feels like out of nowhere in the last year or so. But I heard this album probably 2-3 years ago. It came out in 2021, and it's just super smooth, awesome R&B that is almost meant to be high to listen to. Like it's so good, man. It's like think of like Washed Out and like Sylvan Esso had a baby that was like a huge stoner. That's
Jeez.
what it sounds like to me, and it's just so fucking pleasing to listen to, and you would love it. It's one of those things that you would do your wrist dance to, like for sure.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
oh.
for
Okay.
sure.
That's always a good sell for me.
Yeah,
I got to do my little hand dance.
yeah, I think you're gonna love it. Do you have any more, or
uh,
do you want to just fucking finally get into this?
let's just get into it, man.
Yeah,
Let's just talk about this shit.
yeah. We've been going for a solid
It's been.
hour.
I mean, if if this ends up in my hands, I am cutting out like the first 40 minutes of this shit.
That's probably for the best. It probably should end up in your hands.
But yeah, dude, let's get to it. No ranked order or anything.
Nah.
These are our top 5 albums that came out in 2025.
Well, I kind of want to talk about one of yours first.
Oh, okay. We just getting the one you don't like out of the way.
No, I kind of wanted to get the one that I like the most out of the way,
Oh, okay.
which was a huge surprise to me. It's Clipping, their Dead Channel Sky.
Really?
I was really
Hell yeah,
genuinely
dude.
surprised by it, man.
I was not expecting that. I thought you were gonna fucking hate on this album.
No, I mean, I like one other album. Actually, there's one other album on your list that I like more, but I was just really fucking, that Clipping has always been a vibe, and it's not necessarily a vibe I like. I feel like it's ADD music, and it's a lot to
Yeah.
take in, and but it does feel like almost poetry, not to sound cheesy, when you follow along with the lyrics, because it's hard to take in the lyrics. I don't usually like really fast rappers for that reason, because I don't want to
Sure.
have to feel like I'm doing homework when I'm listening to the music. But
Yeah.
with Clipping, it's he's good enough that he's not like anyone else, man. And
No, David Diggs is a singular
he
dude.
is one of one for sure, and just the way that he tells a story, and it's almost like horror rap is the way I would describe it,
Yeah.
because this
Yeah.
album feels like you're being chased.
They've been ever since they figured out that they were like a horror rap group.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been hitting their stride for like the last like 8 years or whatever.
Yeah, the album is just
And
cold is the word that kept coming up when I listened to it.
it's cold. I think they use more like actual drums and instruments in this album
Oh,
than they
cool.
have in a good while,
Okay.
which I think helps with kind of accessing it a little easier.
Maybe so. Maybe that's why I liked it a little bit more. And I wouldn't have guessed that, to be honest, because they have a lot of kind of like house techno type music on this record, and it adds
They
to the
do,
fucking,
yeah,
it adds to like the mechanical panic attack feel that the album has. Like it adds to the cold, like the cold feeling of the whole record. So it's
yeah,
surprising that I didn't know that
yeah.
there was like actual more organic instruments than they've used before.
I mean, usually it'd be rare to hear a fucking snare on a clipping record, but
Maybe that's why I like it.
they,
And I loved Change the Channel. I love that it's an interpolation of Firestarter from Prodigy. I don't know if you picked up
yeah,
on that, but yeah, man, it's so well done. Like
it's
it's like, oh,
so
how would they do this if they had rapped on it? And it's exactly what it's like perfect. The cadence and his
yeah.
tone and
I
everything.
think the little tiny sound clips that are added throughout the song and never
Yeah.
come back again and just add so much texture and like layers to it,
Yes. Yeah.
is so cool. I Change the Channel is one of my favorite songs on this record.
Yeah, it's by far my
Um,
favorite one.
but they also have some chill songs that I really liked, like Keep Pushing. Um, whatever they do a chill song, which is not often, it usually tends to be one of my favorite songs on the record.
Interesting. It usually falls flat for me.
Damn.
But I appreciated the
Uh,
beat on that one. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. That it was much more of like a boom bap beat, a lot more subdued and simple. And I
mm,
appreciated
yeah.
that kind of rhythm because that's the only mid one of the only mid tempo songs on the record. Everything else is just like
Yeah. It's very hectic, very quick,
it's very
very
addictive.
spastic
And
at
David
points.
is just fucking unhinged on the album. Like
Oh yeah.
he's
Oh yeah.
insane on this record. And again, something that I feel like I wouldn't be able to fully appreciate unless I'm following along with every song and reading all the lyrics and everything.
But that's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it is.
And Anthony Fantano has described him as like if rappers had like a stat chart, just had stats on like flow, speed, technique, all of his stats would be maxed out.
Yeah, that's kind of and that's kind of not the vibe all the time. That's not the vibe I want.
It's very much something you got to buy into,
Yeah, for sure.
you
But
know.
yeah, but there's a lot of good on this record, man, and a lot of surprises. And I think, yeah, they have fully embraced the horror aspects without being cheesy, which I think is really impressive. It's so
I
easy to jump that
which
shark, you know?
Yeah. I
And
don't I don't think many other artists can do a horror anything,
no,
without sounding a little goofy
yeah,
about it,
like
you know.
unless you're gonna play the Juggalo Fest or whatever it's called.
I think it's called Juggalo
I think
Fest.
it's called Juggalo Fest. But yeah, and another little like nod that I liked on the record was Dodger sounded a lot like Bombs Over Baghdad to me, and I think that's exactly what they were going for. And I appreciate that also
Mm,
because that's so smart. It's such a good decision to use a song like Firestarter or Bombs Over Baghdad. It's like they know their fucking aesthetic. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're taking these songs
yeah,
that maybe Firestarter has more of a horror vibe, but Bombs Over Baghdad is just such a unique original beat for a rap song that none of us had ever heard before when that song came out. Like that type of beat,
right.
especially for like a southern hip hop band. So for David's from Atlanta, right? Am I wrong in that?
I don't know.
I don't
I have
remember,
no
but I
idea.
thought I thought he was. But either way, it's just such a great choice. It's just like if you're gonna take an Outcast song, it's gonna be Bombs Over Baghdad. If you're going for that kind of hectic, tense feel. So it's like they're just
Yeah, yeah.
smart musicians.
Well, if I guess I'd like to talk about uh one of my favorite albums that you brought up,
Oh, I
and
love
I
this. This is why I like our friendship.
this is
That's
nice.
sweet.
This means it's only going to get more tense as the
Yeah.
episode goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am I've been I could describe this album as nothing but like badass. Fucking hits hard as hell. Kick ass the whole time. It's the die spits something to consume.
Yeah. Man, I had a feeling you were gonna like that.
I've been loving this album, man. It's I mean, how do you describe it? Like just a hard rock album?
I would say
You know?
I would say the through line, because they do a lot on that record, but the through line I would say is shoegaze. Is just kind of the filter. Because they do a lot of different styles. There's pop punk, there's new metal on there, there's like psychedelic rock, they have some slower songs. They have stuff that sounds like hot water music, and they have stuff that sounds like Infest the Rat's Nest. You know, like they're all over the place.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like Throw Yourself to the Sword.
The best song on the record. Like by
I love that fucking song.
Dude, that song gets me so hyped. And yeah, so and I feel like all of these different influences are all put through this shoegaze filter. And I think that's what Die Spitz or D Spitz or however you pronounce it, like
no idea.
I think it's incredibly refreshing is the way that I would put it, because it's like I said, I've listened to a lot of modern rock and they're doing similar things that a lot of other bands are doing, but they have that certain thing, that certain
they got
and it just works way better.
They have kind of that air of the modern production. They have that big kind of low endness to them.
They have a big
but
sound.
They're still
It's really cool.
It doesn't sound overproduced somehow. It doesn't sound like too clean. There's still a rawness there. That is,
and there's a 90s feel to the whole thing too, with like these pavement vibes and these helmet vibes and all that's, and so yeah, it's all done very, you can tell it's all very sincere, and it's on the verge, it's all of it's on the verge of not working. I feel like every song teeters on this really thin line for me, where I'm like, this is either going to go too far in one direction or it's not going to be enough. Because they have to, it's like every song to me has to be near perfect to work for me.
But they're able to stick that landing every time.
They really, really are. And they have so many different vibes on the record. And it's like another thing that's really refreshing. It's just like, damn, it's nice to listen to something that me and you have called out before too on other episodes, that what I like the most that rock is doing now is there are some bands that are just doing 5 different things, because now it's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like at this
point, like, why not?
Yeah, why not?
You know?
Like at this point we have thrash and new metal and metalcore and, you know, whatever. And it's just like, I love that now some bands are just like, we're going to do a little bit of everything. And I think that's what Die Spitz does. And I just like, they packaged it all very, very nicely.
Yeah, in this age of being able to record an album easier than ever, you don't need a record label's budget to record something and put it out there. You have a lot more freedom, which also comes with a lot more saturation. But ultimately, when you find that good stuff, when you find that band that is willing to test themselves with every song, it's a blessing. It's a gift.
Yeah, it sounded to me, it sounded like every song, the first conversation was I want to write a song that sounds like blank. And I think that's like, it felt like every song was that. Like the opening track was something about, it was like pop punk something is the title, and
like pop punk anthem. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, like that to me is just, okay, we want to write a hot water music song, so they did that. And then one song just sounds like I want to write a Deftones song, and another one was like I want to.
Yeah, right. Like Sound of No One is like a Deftones fucking song.
1,000%, right? Like even what the drummer is doing, it's like the drummer is doing like I think the guy's name's like Cunningham, I think, the drummer for Deftones, and like she's doing a Deftones drum line, and it's great. And I think they totally pull it off. It doesn't sound derivative, because it's, like I said, it's 100% put through like the Die Spitz filter, and I think it's pretty unique. And I love Throw Yourself to the Sword, American Porn.
Ugh.
I love American Porn, and I love Red 40, and those are 3 songs that all have pretty different vibes, and they're all great.
But all land. They all land.
And your favorite is the
nice. It's Throw Yourself to the Sword is fucking badass.
Yeah.
You gotta appreciate a singer that is down to let the instruments ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that goes through a lot of this album. I didn't do a lot of research on this band. I don't know if the singer is like also a guitarist or a bassist or something.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah, but that's what it sounds like. Is that like it's nice to have some space for the fucking instruments to play.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like that's what's cool is like they wrote like almost like a thrashy metal song as a shoegaze band. And that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's really different. Yeah, and they're from Austin too. So I just feel like
no shit.
Yeah, and I feel like if Mortalis had been able to stick around, we would have definitely played shows with them, dude. Yeah.
Would have loved to play with these fucking guys.
We would have opened for them like once or twice and then never seen them again because they blew up. But we would have melded so well with their vibes. But yeah, let's talk about, let's go straight into probably my most hated record that you picked.
Okay. Yeah, and this is also to be paired with a show you went to, is it not?
Yes, you called it. Yeah, so you put on, honestly, surprisingly, Phantom Island from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, their latest record, I believe. I don't think they've come out with anything since, but I could definitely.
No, it is their latest.
Yeah, man, I really, really, really wanted to love this record, and I honestly hate it.
Ugh, that's such a fucking shame.
Yeah, I don't use that word lightly, man. Like I hate this album.
What you saw King Gizzard live with an orchestra.
Amazing.
And you've alluded to this event as almost as a ground zero of sorts.
Yes. No, this was one of the best shows I've ever been to, and they played, I think, this album in its entirety. And I liked it live. It sounded amazing. The vibes were immaculate. Everyone was having a good time. And then they played a lot of their other stuff that I like more. But this album translated live very well for me.
But you don't like the studio.
Hate it on record.
Oh.
That's
such a fucking shame.
It's literally hard for me to listen to, man. Like it's literally like my ears reject this album.
God. What part of it? I mean, the production is there.
No,
you like the songs.
Terrible.
Well, I guess that's the difference between seeing a band live with an orchestra and just and not.
I'm telling you, live, it sounded warm. It was incredibly well balanced, and it wasn't loud. And this album is just noise to me.
That is so inconceivable to me.
It's messy. It's not fun to listen to. I think it's weird and it's not compelling to me. I think it's a weird choice for them to write Grateful Dead type tunes with a full orchestra. It's already 2 strikes with the Grateful Dead thing. And then adding an orchestra, it's like, okay, this can make it compelling and at least interesting to listen to. And all it is 30 something instruments all at the same time, not well balanced or mixed for me. So to me, it's just a cacophony and I can't fucking listen to it.
It is. Phantom Island is basically the sequel to the album they released last year, which was Flight B741.
Which I also really didn't like.
I wasn't so hot on that one. There were some songs that I liked from it, but I thought like, oh, I don't know. And I think Phantom Island is the fully realized version of that album with a full orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's such a fucking shame. I guess I should never see Gizzard live if I want to enjoy any of their music.
Yeah, if you want to enjoy this album on Spotify, or like not on Spotify because they're not on there anymore, but if you want to enjoy this on Bandcamp or anywhere else, like I don't recommend seeing it live because Yeah, the live reproduction of this record was fucking great, man. And to the and even I say that, and I still didn't really like the songs. You know what I mean?
I I love the
I
songs,
don't
so I
like the
guess I
songs.
don't.
What is this music? What is the? It's kind of Grateful Deady, right? It's kind of jam bandy. Is that why I don't
It's
like
kind of
it?
Grateful Dead. It's kind of
Yeah,
just like you're at Woodstock,
yeah.
you
That's
know,
the
and there's
problem.
just like a band playing up
That's the
there, and
problem.
it's
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a vibe.
I don't. I hate the vibe, and I've always hated that vibe. I don't like jam
Fuck.
bands. I don't like Fish or Grateful Dead or any of that. So it's just all like I said. It's already such a fucking hard sell, and then
I mean,
yeah,
I do not like those bands either. Maybe it's just that it's Gizzard that I'm willing to give them every like benefit that I can.
yeah. I mean, they did
But
like their version of it, and that's why I thought that's why I was hopeful that I would like it. And it's yeah, man, I just can't do it.
well, let's move on to uh I don't know, kind of just going in random order here, just looking through my library. Let's go to Tough Times Never Last by Coco Roco.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
This is, dude, it's a fucking groovy album.
It's a
I
right.
when I first listened to this record, I only listened to the first two songs because I was at work and I only had one earbud in, and I thought, no,
Hmm.
I have to go home. I got to put headphones on. It is unacceptable
Yeah,
for me to listen to a record like this without some good speakers or headphones or something.
yeah, man. I'm glad you respected it
And
that much because this is a tank in the bangas situation. You know what I mean?
this is a Tank in the Bangas situation. This is a lot of the instrumentation reminded me of Chicano Batman.
Totally. Yeah.
It reminded me like the drums, especially the bass was there. There's a whole, I don't know, there's a groove to it. There's an energy to it that feels just like nice and positive and
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, and they fall right in line with the kind of world jazz that I've been listening to. They're right in there. They also have a lot of they kind of go in a lot of different avenues of those genres, you know. So they kind of give you a lot of different tastes of the type of music. So for me, it's like the album doesn't drone on or feel like boring to me because every song is slightly different vibe and rhythm and energy,
Yeah.
you know. But the through line is like just beautiful music, like really simple lyrics, you know. If I'm gonna dog them on anything,
Yeah, yeah. But you know, I don't think that's such a blatantly bad thing when you're just trying to like imagining being in a live setting
yeah,
and grooving along to the music, just kind of dancing along to it. You know, the singer doesn't got too much to think about, so they could just kind of lose themselves in
yeah.
it.
And despite wonderful, beautiful vocals, you know, they just don't have like very meaningful, deep lyrics. But you're right; it's like it almost adds to like this is just vibes, you know. And to me, Coco Roco and or this album specifically, because some of their older stuff is a little bit slower, but this album just has that feel of like I want to dance with the person I'm in love with to this record. You know what I mean? It has the every
Yeah.
song is like almost a love song. There's a lot of love songs on it. There's a lot of like it's very kind of sneakily emotional if you're listening to it and you allow yourself to kind of like maybe over contemplate the simple words that they're using, but like
Maybe they're repeated so much that you
yeah,
have to find a meaning in it, you know?
that's probably a good point. And yeah, I like it. It's a very warm album, and it's very, you know, you can dance to it. You can just stare out your window and think about life listening to it, and it's great.
Ugh.
And yeah, my favorites are Sweetie. I think had a really cool like Fela Kuti Afrobeat vibe, which I really appreciate, kind of like African funk. And I loved Da Da Da. I thought that was a really nice, like old school kind of funk soul vibe.
Oh yeah.
Those,
Yeah, that was one of my favorites as well.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's a great record, man. I'm glad you liked it because, like, seeing how different our lists are, I was thinking that one specifically. I wonder if Ash is gonna like that. Even though it's just like it's so out of left field. Even and I think, especially coming from me, I feel like it's probably left field, right? Like I don't know.
I mean, I didn't know. I think Viagra Boys and Turnstile were the only. I didn't know the other three albums. I didn't know the other three bands you brought
Okay,
on.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Viagra Boys. Man, fuck it. Dude, can we just talk about that album now?
All right, let's just talk about that album.
Because it is by far my favorite new record that I heard last year, and it came out really towards the end of the year. I saw that they had a new one coming out, and I was really fucking nervous that it was going to be like a 2026 release, and I wouldn't be able to put it on my list if I liked it. But I want to say it came out like early December or maybe late October, right around that time. And yeah, man, it's a part two to the album that came out before, and it's such a fucking great part two. A much better part two than another band that's on my list did. And I just like Viagra Boys is just like unhinged and fucking greasy and like
Yeah, but they are also able to. A lot of times in this album, they're able to contain themselves and be a little more like catchy with it, be a little more poppy with it.
for a really
You know?
basically a dance punk band, I guess you could say. Like they're
Yeah, they're like a dance post punk band.
yeah, but deep like some of their
I
lyrics are like kind of deeply uncomfortable in a really good way, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that I'm a little. I haven't looked deeply into the lyrics of this album. You know, I'm kind of just listening and coming up with my own thoughts. I'm a little worried we're venturing into the realm of making fun of like losers and mentally unwell people.
Yeah, I
Instead
know
of
what you
just
mean.
like assholes and politicians and stuff. You know what I
I
mean?
know what you mean, but I could see why people might think that when they listen to Viagra Boys, but I look at it as he's talking about himself. So I think he's shitting on himself because I'm sure I think I don't know much about the singer, but I'm pretty sure that he's dealt with like addiction issues and he drinks a lot, and I think he like considers himself kind of a
Sure.
scumbag. So I think
Yeah.
he writes from the perspective of a scumbag. And
I mean, when it. Go on.
and I was just gonna say, and I think it's easy to overlook their more political and kind of more biting stuff where they're punching up. I think it's easy to
Yeah.
miss because it's all kind of sandwiched by all this kind of self-loathing and self-hatred that sounds like he's kind of shitting on, yeah, like the lower rung of society.
I'm like when it pretty much Viagra Boys, every song is pretty much just a contained vignette of a person's life.
Yes.
Right? And it sounds to me like they're making fun of that person.
Right.
Like in like Uno 2
One of my favorite songs on
and
the
like Waterboy.
yeah.
It kind of just sounds like we're making fun of people that are mentally sick. And it could be self-referential, but it's so hard to make that distinction when objectively a lot of these songs are about just other people, like in Cave World. Like
Right.
I think it was a lot more obvious when the songs were just about, I don't know, some asshole that he met at a party or something.
Yeah, yeah. Like Troglodyte and punk rock.
Troglodyte.
And yeah, I mean, I totally understand the perspective. And honestly, I never thought about that. I never really looked at it that way because I always thought it was like him yelling at a mirror is what it always felt like to me. So
Sure.
I kind of love it. It's like it's bad in that context too. You could think about that's not great either because then it's like then here's a really self-destructive person who's having issues that it just like it sounds like he kind of
Sure.
hates himself and thinks he's a piece of shit. And so it's like, is that much better than him talking about other people who might be like that and calling them pieces of shit? Like, I don't know which one I would prefer.
Because it's kind of tough, right? Because they're if you're talking about yourself from a third person point of view. Um, I don't
He
know,
says
man.
I. He talks
It's
from
just
first person a lot in the lyrics. There's a lot of first person. Like he's talking about in "Man Made of Meat" when he's saying like, "I'm subscribed to your mom's OnlyFans, and I pay $5 a month to like jerk off to pictures of her feet, and
yeah,
the
right.
part
And so
talking to
like,
her AI chatbot and blah blah." I'm just like, I think it's really easy on the surface to be like, oh, he's making fun of incels and making fun of people who paid for OnlyFans, and then also saying like, oh, you guys would talk to an AI chatbot, and think it's actually this woman talking to you. You're so fucking stupid, blah blah. But I think it's like, maybe again it's over contemplating some of these lyrics that I might be reading more into than there's there, connecting dots that don't exist. But I feel like those are that's commentary, as well as like maybe seeing himself as just like he's just as scummy as some of the people that maybe he's dogging on.
sure.
And also it's
I guess
commentary
it's
that's just
open
like
to
this is where we are as a
interpretation.
society. Like I think they're greasy as fuck, and that's what and honestly, like it's uncomfortable. And I think that's
Yeah.
it's such a clever thing to package that with like dance punk that you just cannot help but fucking bob your head to, at least tap a fucking toe, and then they're saying
Yeah.
this like
Yeah.
really kind of nasty shit with a lot of attitude.
They are great at painting a colorful, detailed picture in a very short amount of time
Yeah.
of a person and their lifestyle and their fucking greasy ass.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was one that, again, I was kind of nervous because I liked Cave World so much that I was
Yeah.
nervous that this wasn't going to be to its caliber, and I think I like it more than Cave World.
Damn.
I think it's a
You
bit
know,
more
they're
like
like,
sharpened. It's a little more like cohesive. Cave World had a lot of different stuff going on, and I love it. But this one feels like they found the sound, and they're like, no, this is it. Like this is the focus
sure.
for this record.
Yeah. I find myself favoring Uno too. Like you said, I like Store Policy. Is like really catchy, and like anytime they use a wind instrument, I think it's
Yeah,
used really well on
yeah.
this record.
Like cave, like
And
trumpets. I think that would work really well with the sound, and I think they had some trumpets on here too, and woodwind and stuff, and I love that.
yeah.
Like that adds
And
to the chaoticness of the record, and I love it.
there are also a couple of slow, somber songs on here that I appreciate that I don't think we've gotten before. You know,
We have
Medicine for
either.
Horses and River King.
Yeah, I was genuinely surprised by those, and that's I see him as like the punk rock iteration or a more punk rock version of Tom Waits is how I see the singer of Viagra Boys. And
Wow.
I'm gonna see we're gonna see a lot more from him, I think, like in the next few years, of being this kind of modern poet. I genuinely think we're gonna see a
Sure.
lot more from him. I wouldn't be surprised if he writes a movie. Like he has that type of vibe to me that I'm like, this guy he has a voice, and
Sure.
he has a very specific writing voice. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he writes a book or a movie or something like that in the very near future.
Yeah.
And I could see him becoming a voice of the new Gonzo voice of like a generation of musicians and writers and everything. I could totally see him becoming that.
For sure.
So I get
Yeah.
excited when I listen to their music a lot, and I love the lyrics. So, but you gave me a new perspective. I'm gonna keep that in mind when I listen to their music, because I don't want to listen to anything that punches down. I've gotten so turned off
I
by so many fucking comedians and comedy in general in the last few years, because it feels like
yeah.
they're going back to the 80s and 90s style of punching down, when
Well,
comedy
it's
is
just
meant to punch up.
like today in this current world, if you're doing anything but punching up, I don't really want to talk to you.
Yeah, like
You know, there's no reason.
I'm gonna assume that you really like the taste of fucking shoe leather if you're not punching up.
I like it. Just I even if, like, I don't know, it's getting to the point where, like, even if someone's an asshole, you know, and they're like a crypto bro or something, like, I, it's not like they're some millionaire that is like
Right.
uh polluting the fucking earth, and maybe they're misled, you know, maybe they're misinformed or whatever. um I don't know. I just think it's tough. I want to give Viagra Boys the benefit of the doubt. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good exercise though, and a good thing to remember when we're like listening to music or reading or taking any sort of media. I think that's a good thing to keep in mind. Is, you know, what was the intent behind this? Because
Yeah.
yeah, because I think a lot of people have gotten fooled with, you know, people like Jordan Peterson and some other writers like him, that you feel like, oh, they're writing about stoicism or masculinity or, you know, something, and then you realize that, you know, there's kind of this underlying grimy, filthy layer underneath that you're like, oh, they had these, what they're writing from this belief and foundation of beliefs that I'm like, oh fuck, I fundamentally don't agree with these, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying attention, you can get caught in that shit real easy. All right, we have to talk about one of yours now.
Yeah, sorry. But we got to move on to one of the ones I like.
Yeah, it's fine. I signed up for this. Do you want to pick which one you talk about next?
Yeah, let's go with Magic Alive by McKinley Dixon.
That's the one I wanted to talk about.
I found out about this guy through this album, and I've been going through his backlog. I've been enjoying everything this guy's been doing. Some of the best jazz rap I've heard, period. I don't know much jazz rap.
Period.
Period.
Wow. All right.
This is when when we're doing this episode, I have had the Golden 3 albums, and pretty much all my research has been looking for the other 2 albums I'm going to put on this list.
Wow.
And this is one of the Golden 3. I've just been listening to it, jamming it, loving it, and I've been excited to show it to you.
Yeah, I don't think this is one that you shared with me before we talked about which albums we were picking, but
No,
it did not surprise me that you liked it. It reminds me of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't heard a lot of Brockhampton, but it kind of reminded me of that kind of genre of rap, like Brockhampton, where I think I'm talking about it like lyrically specifically. I feel like I feel like a lot of the rap, which that's why I'm surprised about some of your choices here, because I feel like previously your preference in rap was the more emotional, personal stuff, like people who got vulnerable and talked about their feelings more than
Sure.
they talk shit or like talk about selling cocaine or about wrestling references. So like, so when I heard this, it tracked so much that I'm like, oh, of course it makes sense, because this album is very like, it's very well written and it's very thoughtful rap music.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to rap, there's got to be something interesting happening in the music, in the beats.
Yeah, you get bored pretty easily. And that was something that was probably my main complaint about the album. If it's a complaint, is that the beats were usually doing too much for me.
Ugh, so picky, this guy.
I am. I mean, you know me, I'm a vibe, dude. I just I want to have like a very, I'm an incredibly mid-tempo person, like in general. So yeah. So and that was another thing that clicked whenever I heard this album, is I knew that the beats would attract you.
I think it sounds like there's a band accompanying pretty much all of these songs. And so it makes sense that things would change up a little more. There's a lot of like clipping. There's a lot of like little additions here and there that keep the song fresh.
A lot of small not interlude moments, but like really small, you know, like 4 or 5, 6 measures of something to break up a piece before we get into the
Yeah.
next voice or whatever.
I would say the main weakness of McKinley Dixon is that he can't. I his choruses aren't exactly. I don't know. It seems like he has trouble writing choruses,
Yeah, I think
and whenever he does, it kind of falls a little flat for me.
it reminds me of early Action Bronson to an extent that they were so good at bars that hooks were really difficult for Action in the beginning to write good
Yeah,
hooks, and
yeah.
I think it is the same. Yeah, I think McKinley has a similar problem for me that his hooks are lacking because he's just a bars guy. He sounds like a writer. Like he sounds like a, you
Yeah,
know what I
no,
mean?
it sounds like he sounds like he writes poetry.
Yes. Yeah.
Like on top of like rap lyrics and
I want to
stuff.
say he has a degree in literature, but I'm not totally sure.
I wouldn't know.
I thought I read that somewhere, and that would make sense too. Because, yeah, because a lot of his songs are. I think he has a good balance, which is a reason why I liked this album more than I would have had it been in the other direction. But I think he has a good balance of writing kind of more personal, heartfelt stuff and mixing it with street logic. And, it's like he sounds like a sensitive kid and a thinker and an intellectual that grew up in a certain part of town that
Yeah, sure,
that
sure.
he had to experience certain things. And so I think he has that duality of perspective that I was able to pick up on, and I appreciated it because if it was all in the fucking bookworm fucking egghead side of things, or even too internal where it's just only talking about feelings nonstop, it's just like it would have been much harder for me to get into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think he's got a good balance of it.
Yeah.
I think it is mostly introspective,
Yes.
but there are definitely his environment influences him,
100%.
you know.
And I think that's when he gets outside of he's able to get outside of that, yeah, that kind of introspective thing, or stay within it but coming at it from a totally different, with a different lens or something. So I
Yeah.
appreciated
Yeah.
that kind of back and forth that he would have. It reminds me a little bit of Bourdain, like where Bourdain would do these stacking in his writing and the way that he like narrated his shows, where he would say something that was really fancy and use big words and follow it up with like really something really common language or something, that you would consider like not high class. Like,
Yeah, sure.
and I love that balance of things, that it's just you can be both, and it's
Yeah.
like we've talked about it before, like in my taste in food, it's like I love fine dining and I have a gutter palate. Like I have a really palate, and I'm down to just get like the greasiest cheeseburger we can find.
You got to find yourself a man that can do both.
Yourself a man that can do both, people.
God
But yeah,
damn.
Magic Alive, I liked it, and I the music had some familiar samples that I heard, which was cool. I've
Yeah, well, yeah, one of the I think Crooked Stick had a sample that Bronson
Yep,
used
you
for one of his
you
songs.
clocked it too. Then yeah, no,
Yeah.
Crooked Stick was my favorite song on the album for that reason. A few
I
others.
that's one of my favorite songs, and I showed it to Riley, and she's like, "I love the album. I do not like that song."
Interesting.
It's like, well, fuck, man.
I would say it's probably the most like subdued beat on the record, so that's probably another reason why I like it. But
Sure.
there was another song, I want to say it was the one right after Crooked Stick, that the beat totally flips in the middle of the song and it's fucking sick. And I think it's the next
Mm.
song where it's like in the middle of it, all of a sudden it gets really grimy and like deep and kind of dry.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's great.
It's when I assume when Teller Banks comes in,
There you go.
shit just goes at 100 miles an hour out of nowhere.
Yeah, I really like that switch up. More of that in hip hop.
More
Let's do
switch
more of
ups,
that.
please.
Switch ups, man. All right, well, let's talk about one of my. We're getting down to the nitty gritties here.
Yep.
We'll talk about Babe Rainbow. Slipper
Babe Rainbow.
has a long name. Slipper Imp and something.
Shit. Okay, I'll find it for you. Slipper Imp and Shakerator,
And Shakerator. There
which
you go.
I believe this is an Australian band. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I found them right around the same time as King Gizzard and a whole bunch of other bands.
Really?
Yeah, they're
We
on the other side of the psychedelic rock thing, where like psychedelic porn crumpets and King Gizzard are on the really like more rock side of things, and these guys are on the more hippie side of things, like Babe Rainbow
yeah.
and like Moses Gun Collective and a bunch of other
Well,
Sugar Candy Mountain, like those bands.
when I first listened to this record, I didn't think it was a band. I thought it was more of a like producer type thing, like Black Moth, Super
Oh
Rainbow.
sure, like Tame Impala or something.
Yeah, but I looked it up and it's a band, and it's interesting because it feels like uh, the priority on the space is not as indicative of them being a band as it usually would be.
You mean like the lyrics are really upfront, or the vocals are very upfront?
I yeah, I think like the instrumentation is a lot in the back. It's
Mm-hmm.
very reverbed and subdued. It providing the atmosphere more than the melodic centerpiece, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. And the vocals are treated more like part of the overall sound versus
Yeah.
like really being up front and center also. And that's why I was wondering, I'm like, if you thought that the lyrics were too, or the vocals were too loud, because I'm like, I think they blend right in and it almost sound like,
No, I think they had a great mix.
yeah. And this is the other album other than Viagra Boys. And I mean, you know, going back, I did love a lot of the records that I suggested, and this was one that it was like my top two. This and Viagra Boys, and it was just like, this was, you know, number fucking 11 on, you know, a really bad run of trying to listen to new albums that came out last year. And so this was just such a like breath of
A
fresh
breath
air.
of fresh air.
Yeah, and I just completely love it. There's no skips. Like it just feels, it is probably the happiest record other than Kokoroko that that I liked.
It's definitely very poppy through a lot of it. Poppy psyche.
Yeah,
if
very
that's
psych pop.
if that makes any sense.
It's all mostly acoustic guitars, and the drummer is just ripping the whole time.
No, yeah, that was one of the things. I thought we were using like kind of a sampler or a drum machine or something the whole time.
No, the drummer is on point, and they came to San Diego and I missed out, and I'm really bummed because when I listened to that new album, it
Damn.
would have been great to see that drummer play it live. But yeah, really good, man. Like that, it just like makes me happy. It's a record that I put on. Just it sounds like sunshine. You know, it's very
Yeah.
cool. They don't take themselves that seriously, which I think is also very cool. They almost like poke fun at their, you know, hippiness, which I appreciate. But yeah, I love Now and Zen and Rainbow's End. Those are my two favorite songs on the record. And yeah, that was just the first one that like even Christina like had to ask like, who is this? You know, like that's an album that I've put on multiple times where people are just like, hey, what are you playing? Like it kind of catches everyone's attention because it could so easily be the cheesy Woodstock vibe that I don't like, and they pull it off
Right.
in a way that's just yeah, it's perfect for me.
And harkening back to Gizzard, Stu McKenzie
Yeah,
is on this fucking record on Mount Dub.
Mount Dub, which I wish was more of a dub reggae song, but I like Mount Dub. I think, but yeah, that was cool to see. I'm surprised that I don't see them like touring together or doing more stuff together because I feel like Babe Rainbow is kind of,
I feel like it'd be a great compliment.
it'd be a
to each
great
other.
compliment, and yeah, I'm surprised to see that. I was surprised to see Stu on there because I haven't seen the two bands interact in you know, like I'm sure it's happened, but I just like haven't seen it before. So when I saw him, I was like, yeah, man, that makes sense. I've been wondering why these guys haven't collaborated more. You know, like you get to that album with Mild High Club, and it's like Babe Rainbow would be a perfect fucking like collab record.
Maybe they tour together in Australia or something. You know,
You know, King Gizzard always has those festivals, like is it Gizfest or something in Australia, and I've never seen,
yeah, sure.
and I'm sure I'm going to be proven wrong, but I've never seen Babe Rainbow on the lineup. and it's always surprising.
Damn, that's a shame.
Yeah, but I'm glad you liked it. I honestly am surprised that you've liked the ones that you've liked. I didn't think you were gonna like half the shit that I was bringing.
You know, I don't know, man. With this new, I've been listening to a lot of like girly 2000s pop lately.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to power pop lately. I've been getting out of the rock realm a little more than I have before, and I've been really enjoying the shit you've sent, man.
Nice, yeah, man. It's a yeah. It's funny looking at my list because I think like, wow, what a different list than I would have had a few years ago. You know what I mean? Like how different my tastes have become. Yeah. I feel like I am softening with age. I feel like I'm getting more sensitive.
You don't have any ska or fucking punk, man.
Yeah, you know, it's just interesting to experience it. Like getting older and feeling like, man, now more than ever, I feel like I want music that makes me feel a very specific way. You know what I mean? And where before it was like wanting to be cool or, you know, wanting to always have like the right opinion on music, and now I'm so much like less concerned if no one likes what I listen to. You know, like just kind of like I'm just yeah, it's interesting getting older and like looking at this list and being like, you know, Viagra Boys is not a quiet record, and neither is Die Spitz, but still they're it's just it's interesting seeing like the trajectory that my tastes are going in.
Yeah, I mean to have Coco Roco and Die Spitz in the same list,
right?
Shows that like I don't know, man. You got a wide palette.
Yeah, man. It's been a really fun year for that, and you know, let's get into Clips. Let God Sort 'Em Out, because that album was on your top 5, and that's one that has been just pushed to me from so many different directions, and I had to force myself to listen to it for this.
Oh my god. Yeah. I correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of your hesitation in listening to this album came from us listening to that Pusha T, It's Almost Dry.
Yeah, there's something about Pusha T that I have such a love-hate relationship with him, because I 100% can immediately recognize his talent and what makes him so special, and I also don't like his music that much. So it sucks because it's, you know, hip hop is so specific, and he has so much potential to be, and no one has to be just because you have the capacity or you have the skill to be it. But I feel like he has so much potential to be a true voice and a true mind in hip hop, and he just keeps fucking doing the same thing over and over again, man. And it's like, you're so good, and you're just churning out the same shit on a different beat over and over again. I want to like it, man, but it's starting to sound lazy for how good I know he is.
Sure.
And he's really good.
I mean,
that's the thing. Like, he's fucking good at what he's.
Do you feel the same about this record? That he's still just repeating the same really?
Mm-hmm. Other than the first song, which is my favorite, The Birds Don't Sing. That was my favorite song on the record, because that was such a fucking new voice to hear from him, like talking about something so real and personal and sad, and that's such a ballsy song to open a record with, and I thought it was great, despite John Legend being annoying. But like I was really impressed with Pusha T on that song, and then the rest of the album is watches and cars and money and talking shit and how I'm the best. And talking about how many times is he going to talk about fucking Elon Musk and Tesla,
which you never had a
Kanye.
Fucking problem with before with anyone else.
But I do have a problem. I've always had that problem with him. But for some reason, Freddie Gibbs or Action Bronson, I love the way that they do it. But dude, Pusha T, you listen to him, he has so much more that he could be doing, and he doesn't have to be. But I wish that he wanted to. You know what I mean?
I feel like that this album is that coming to fruition when he's teaming up with his like cousin. I think his cousin Malice.
I think it's his brother.
or his brother. They've made albums before. This is the return of a long hiatus.
Yeah.
Their last record came out in 2009. A lot of people say Hell Hath No Fury is one of the best rap records out there.
Yeah, people have really, really high opinions of Clips.
I never, I listened to that album and I thought it's tight, but this album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, I've been listening to this nonstop. I think it is just a lot of machismo, a lot of bragging.
Yeah, man.
But the beats are so interesting and their verses are so good. And the features are so amazing. Having Kendrick, obviously be on here.
Kendrick has a great feature.
Cool.
Tyler has a great feature.
Tyler has an amazing feature. Pharrell Williams is on here a good couple
Pharrell's
times.
doing his fucking bullshit on this album, and I'm just so over that fucking guy. But I can appreciate that he's probably put the most interesting music he's written in like 20 years on this record, so I can appreciate that.
Yes.
And it also sounded like he had one idea that he did like 4 different times, which was, let's have a really choir sounding chorus and then go into a really grimy sounding verse and go back and forth between the two. He did that over and over again on this record.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is really interesting. I like this. And then it's like 3 songs in a row that sound exactly like it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well.
I'm reading my notes here because I had a lot of thoughts. But I did think the album started out really strong, and it took about halfway through the record for me to realize that Pusha T is just doing the Pusha T thing. And then I realized I'm not a huge fan of it.
But when it sounds like this,
yeah, it did great.
POV,
yes,
So Be It, FICO.
Yeah,
God damn.
Yeah, that's the thing is it's a weird place for me to be because it is good, and I don't like it. It's a weird emotion to experience, and like I feel like, I'm trying to fucking read my notes. I'm like, yeah, he's an amazing lyricist, amazing wordsmith, but other than a few handful of the songs on the record, including the opener, which I do think is the best one. Like he's a great shit talker, and that's kind of all he's doing. He's great at braggadocio and talking shit. But do I want to listen to 40 minutes of that? Like, do I want to listen to 15 different lines about watches? Like, I don't. And so, yeah,
But you'll listen to 15 minutes of someone eating baklava.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's the thing is like, that's where it gets so subjective. And it's like Pusha T is objectively a fucking amazing rapper, and subjectively I don't like his shit. And it's like, people loved that latest Kendrick record. I don't like it at all. And Kendrick's one of my favorite rappers. And I don't like the one that has the Not Like Us and TV Off and all that. I couldn't get into it. And but yeah, like, I think that's where my frustration comes in the most with Pusha T, because like Kendrick, Pusha has a lot more that he could be saying, and it's a bummer that he doesn't seem like he wants to, or maybe he doesn't care. But I see so much potential for him to rap about the type of stuff that I wish he rapped about, like more kind of socially conscious stuff. But it's like, all right, fine. Let's just talk more about, you buy watches, I buy collections. Okay. But sonically, the album's fucking awesome.
Ugh. It's so good. It's so good throughout. I think the very last couple tracks of the album are a little... I'm not so hot on them after listening to it like 100 times.
Yeah, they're very similar, the last 3 or 4 tracks.
Yeah, and it's kind of Pharrell's singing is so like
annoying,
particular, and yeah, it's kind of like, okay, all right, okay.
I find him incredibly obnoxious, man. So yeah, anytime he's saying, I'm just like, ugh. But I do like. What does it talk about? Like we're in the future and you guys are steps behind or something.
Yeah. Leaving did it behind.
Yeah.
Behind. I think that might be is that the last song, or
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
But I like that song, and I like The Birds Don't Sing. Those were the two that really stood out to me.
Damn.
What was it? What were yours?
Oh, dude. I mean, I don't think they're. I just love that fucking album so much. I've been listening to it so much.
You know how much of a
Uh,
bummer it is for me whenever I don't like albums that everyone I know loves. It sucks for me. Like the Kendrick record and this one, it's like everyone around me like loves these albums, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't get into it.
I think the Birds Don't Sing Into Chains and Whips is such a fucking awesome way to start off a record,
Yeah,
right? Because Birds Don't Sing is like the most emotional. They're talking about like their family, right? And all this tragedy.
it's a beautiful
And
song,
then
beautifully
Chains and
tragic.
Whips
You know?
comes in,
Yeah,
and you just hear that guitar coming in, and you know shit is about to get real. Oh my god.
yeah. It's almost like they
Uh
wanted to put that song up front out of respect for whoever their family member is that sounded like committed suicide, and it's
yeah.
like let's put it up front, let's get that emotional stuff out of the way, and the rest of the album is going to be like fucking, let's just try and feel as cool as we can feel, you know, and sound as cool as we can sound, and it's just like, and you fucking, they pulled it off.
They're just so fucking they're just such good fucking rappers,
Yeah, they
man.
really are. Like
That it almost doesn't fucking matter what they're talking about in a
oh,
weird fucked up way.
I know. It's a,
I'm like
if it's on at a party, if it's on just for something to have on in the background, it's great. It's a great album for that.
on MTB TTF, where he's just like it starts off, there's no music, he's just going off for like fucking 30 seconds. It's just nothing but his flow
Yeah.
is so cool. EBITDA. I'm in the hills like vitamin C. I mean, bright as a bee. That's all fucking chains and whips through to Inglorious Bastards are my fucking Narnugs.
Yeah, I like the Tyler song a lot too. I love Tyler's line where he says, "God is gonna play me in my biopic."
In my biopic.
Yeah,
Oh.
so good, man. That's such a great line.
Ugh.
And crazy how different Tyler,
But
because I haven't listened to much of him, but you know, he sounds so different now than when he did during Goblin and shit.
well, he also released a new record this year. Don't touch the glass. Don't
I heard
tap
it's
the
pretty
glass.
good.
It is good. It didn't make my top five, but it's good, man. It's just classic. Tyler just delivering. I don't know. You
Yeah,
know?
man. I think he's genuinely like he's found his lane too, and it's yeah, it's cool to see. You know, despite the controversy and shit that he's been dealing with lately, but you know, anytime that you start
But with
for
that,
success, people are gonna fucking try and do that anyway. But yeah, with that, my last
yeah.
album, we're ending my top five with a little bit of a wet fart. Not really, but this was like kind of like a consolation prize. Turnstile, Never Enough. They're
Dude, I've been not wanting to talk about this record
yeah.
just because I've been so disappointed by it.
Me too. And it was this feels like a B-sides record. It's a lot more unfocused than Glow On. It sounds like
It
15, like 12 or 15 songs that are either retreads or songs that weren't good enough to put on Glow On.
I mean, it does right. Like it doesn't even sound like it's the B-sides of Glow On, but it sounds like they almost were like, okay, let's take the rhythms and ideas of the songs and we'll copy and paste those and add in some new chords and some new lyrics.
Yeah, it sounds like they were
Just
like, "Ooh, we're really enjoying this lane that we're in. I feel like I have another 12 songs like this," and they're like, "All right, fuck it, let's do another 12 songs like it." But there was no evolution, and to even say that it was stagnant from Glow On to Never Enough, I think is also not accurate. I think genuinely Never Enough is
it,
not as good of a record as Glow On.
no, I think it's a pretty much across the whole thing, it's kind of a downgrade during, especially in the first half of the album. The first half of the album just sounds like it almost seems like snarky.
Yeah.
Like Never Enough is the title. It's almost like people were like, "Where's Glow On? Where's the next Glow On? Where's the next Glow On?" They're like, "Fine, we'll give it to you."
It's never enough. Yeah, it's like I just I bet what might have happened was the studio, or not the studio, the record label was like, "Yo, Glow On is a huge hit. We need a follow up like immediately. Like, you guys are blowing up. Let's put a follow up." And they're like, "Okay, well, we have like 8 songs that we just decided not to put on that record, so maybe we'll come back and revisit those and then write another 4 real quick." It's like,
but it took 4 years, you know, and like,
did it really take 4 years? Holy fuck!
Yeah, no, Glow On came out in 2021.
Holy shit!
And this came out 2025, and it's just so, I don't know, man. It's so disappointing.
Yeah.
And I think the latter part of the album is there were some songs on there that I was actually kind of thinking like, okay, this is kind of where I thought this whole album was going to be.
Yeah. And more of the longer, soft, like quieter songs.
Yeah, kind of like I don't know, Ceiling, if I recall. No,
Yeah,
not
I'm
Ceiling.
pulling it up right now, but it's like I of course, gravitated towards the more
Like,
punk stuff that they had on the record, but also it's like I liked it, but it did seem like, cynical retreads of
right, cynical retread, I think, is a perfect description
yeah,
of this record.
yeah.
And I was very surprised to see that it was in your top 5.
Yeah, and again, it was almost a consolation prize because it's like I do like some songs on here. Like, I love Birds and Slow
Yeah.
Dive, and I love Sun Shower. So those 3 songs, like, I genuinely like a lot. And
Yeah.
even though they do almost they are a little too similar, but like to previous stuff, but everything else what started bumming me out a little bit is if I'm following like analytics and stuff, and I'm sure bands do, like when they look at streaming numbers and they're like, hey, these songs are getting way more plays than these other songs. Like,
Yeah.
almost all of the songs on here that sound like a version of Turnstile that I don't want them to become are the ones that have the highest play counts.
Really?
Yeah, like I Care, Look Out for Me. Birds became a huge hit, but like Seeing Stars, like there's stuff on here that I'm like, damn, dude, if every punk song has to have a Latin beat, and if the songs that are getting the most plays are the ones that are the softest kind of like dream pop stuff, then I'm like, they're gonna start going in the direction that the wind is blowing, and those are the songs that, even on Glow On, some of the more dream poppy stuff, it was refreshing because it was new, but it wasn't my favorite part of what they were doing, and they kind
I
of doubled down on that stuff too.
I have faith. I really hope that these guys will do what they did when they wrote Glow On, and that's just like reinvent themselves.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
You
have
know?
to veer away from all of this to be refreshing. Because if they just go back to their awesome hardcore punk that they were putting out, 5, 6, 10 years ago, I guess. I can't believe Glow On came out 4 years ago. If they just go back to that, then it's gonna feel almost like it's not even desperation because, bro, they're getting fucking 21 million plays on every song. Like they're doing
Yeah.
incredibly
No,
well.
they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, so I don't see.
Their fucking shows cost a lot of money to go to.
I know
I tried to fucking go to one and I couldn't afford
they
it.
played at fucking Petco Park here. Like, they played at a fucking baseball stadium in San Diego, and yeah, at this point, we missed out. On the best Turnstile days, like, they're gone. You know,
Oh,
they're an arena
what are you
act
gonna
now.
do?
Like, they're a stadium act already, and fucking good on them too, because like, to write the type of music that they're writing, and to mix it and produce it in a way that sounds like it should be played in an arena in a stadium.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It's very cool. Like
Yeah,
I'm all for them. I was against them before I heard Glow On, and I'm not gonna make that mistake again. But ugh, man, what a fucking! It broke my heart listening to this record. It really did.
Yeah, it was a huge bummer and probably the biggest disappointment for me, other than Phantom Island. Never Enough was the by far the biggest disappointment.
So I think we move on to that into the last song, the last album,
Yes.
which is God Does Like Ugly by Jid. I've been on Jid since the Never Story, and I'm so
You've been
glad I
talking about
hopped
Jid
on.
since what came out first, The Never Story or DiCaprio 2? Like which one came out?
The Never Story came out
Okay,
first.
because yeah, you've been on him since then. You've been telling me about Jid since like 2018 or 2019.
Yeah, I think it was around then.
Yeah.
And he is never disappointed.
Never missed.
And he has done nothing but go above and beyond and show that he is as marketable as any fucking mainstream star, yet as quality focused as any of the best rappers out there.
Yeah, perfectly said. Jid has sincerely not missed ever with me, and he's only gotten better. I will say that God Does Like Ugly is not a cynical retread, but it's not that different from God Doesn't Like Ugly or God Don't Like Ugly, like the one that came out before it. It for in the best way possible, it sounds exactly like the last album you put out.
The Forever Story?
That was it. Yeah, the Forever Story.
I completely disagree.
You don't think it sounds exactly like it?
No, I don't.
How? How is it
No,
different?
man. I
Like
they're different in that the fucking like music is all different, and he's doing different shit.
I didn't notice much difference. I think he's at the peak of his skills, but to me it just sounds like yeah, let's do it again. And he nailed it. I think it's a great record, but it sounds like a part 2 and a great sequel, at that.
I don't feel that way at all about it. I
I'll put
feel
it on
like
while we're
this is
talking about it,
a
'cause I'm like, well, what am I missing here?
I mean, like, it's still rap. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's not in a new genre or anything. It's still rap, it's still beats.
It's very
But
similar. It's
like,
very similar beats that he's been using for, the last 2 albums. I guess
I don't think so. All his
Skate
beats
is
to
pretty
me.
different. I will say, like, Skate sounds like
I
a cool, like, early 2000s R&B song.
I I think there's always something in his music that is interesting. There's always something to cling on to. There's always some new shit that I don't notice on my second run through. He is such a fantastic storyteller. He can talk shit as well as he can talk about his himself and his introspective like nature.
Yeah, I think you're totally
And
right. And that's what I mean. I'm like, not in a bad way at all, that this sounds like more of the same from him, but it just does to me. But it's still just fucking great.
damn.
Like, it's great. I think Skate was the one song that really stood out to me as like being really different for what I've heard from Jid. And even
Yeah, no,
with Earth Gang on there, it sounds like a very different Earth Gang song too. And I forgot how much Jid and Earth
right,
Gang are
yeah.
like buddies. Like, man,
No, they're tight.
they're so good together. Like I think there's something about them packaged together that just sounds right to me. And I don't know if it was because like that was my first introduction to Earth Gang, was listening to their album that they did a whole album with Jid, or Jid is just on a lot of their songs.
I think they did. I think they had it like a collaboration thing. I don't think it was just Jid. I think it was like a
Oh
whole
yeah,
Spilligion, right?
yeah, yeah.
It was
Six
like
Black.
kind of its own like artist or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think Jid is on the opening track of one of the Earth Gang records that we reviewed. And it's just like,
Yeah, no, he was on Rags, right?
yeah, Rags. There you go. Yeah, man.
And I think he was in the running for like best feature
Yes.
of the year when we did that
But we
album.
gave it to me. Deservedly so.
Nah, I mean, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, I just I don't know that like it's like I don't know why like hip hop has been a hard sell for me this year, but yeah, man, like the Jid album, it's great. It's just it's another one that is like, yeah, this is objectively just fucking great rap music, and it but it's just not something that really grabbed me. I'm just like, yeah, this is great, really really good, and I haven't wanted to go back to it. I don't know why I'm in such a different fucking. I'm like out of my hip
You're just
hop.
in a different place.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. I do appreciate. I was gonna say like I feel like maybe I'm in this mode right now where I need music that has a little bit talking about the things that I'm thinking about. Maybe is what it is. That's why like I've been listening to a lot more of music that is a lot more personal to me rather than vibey music.
Well, you said most of the records you've been listening to are in a language you don't understand,
Yeah, but
right?
you know, music is a language, and it's something that it's like
Okay.
the music that they're playing is in a language that I is a language that my body speaks. I think I'm more listening to my body with music lately than I've been listening with my brain, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
I don't know.
But you're not vibing.
I am vibing, but I'm on such a different vibe than I ever have been in my life. Like I feel like I've changed a lot in the last year, and I don't know. I feel like I'm not the same person I was before, like when we were recording earbuds before. So I just have like a very different.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I just have a very different like view and need from like the music that I'm listening to and everything that I'm all media that I'm consuming. I'm just like I have a very specific need for it now. It's I'm just thinking out loud. I'm like trying to make sense of it because it's weird to listen to something like God does like love ugly or like ugly and just kind of be like, okay, yeah, it's good, you know, versus like knowing it's fucking huge and people love it.
Yeah.
Well, and Mayhem will learn to come out with
Well.
something new, man. I think he's due. I think that's let's. Are there any? That'd be a cool way to end this. Are there any bands that you really want to see something new from this year? Anyone?
Oh, I'm certain. I'm certain. Oh, well, actually, I don't know if you remember the Proto Men.
Yeah,
We listened to one of their records for
yeah.
an episode. They released a new album. They released Act 3 17 years after Act 2. And that just came out like a week ago. So I want to give props to my Proto Men. They delivered. I honestly didn't think they would ever make another album. So it's been a nice surprise.
Nice. Yeah, that's surprising. Yeah, I think like we've mentioned Action Bronson a few times already, but it's like I feel like he's due for something new. I'd like to hear something from him. Maybe
Mm,
hearing a little bit more, like him, kind of getting outside of his comfort zone a little bit. Because I know that dude's like progressive. I know he doesn't fucking agree with a lot of the shit that's going on right now, and he's just not saying anything, But it's like
yeah.
I'd like him to try and hear his opinion. Drain, I think, had a new album that just came out. That hardcore band Drain. I really like them a lot,
Mm.
so I'd like to hear that from them. And there was a few albums that came out recently that recently added. Let me see. Yeah, because I'm like, I know I added a bunch of albums to my list that I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know that was coming out. And of course now I can't find it. Man, you know what? Who I would love to hear a new album from, and I don't even think they're together anymore. Is man, who did fucking Nightwitch, Nightwitch?
Oh, that's Wolf People.
Yeah, I want to hear something from Wolf People, man.
Yeah, man.
With all this
That'd be
like new
sick.
psych rock, like psych rock is having a moment right now too, and And I would say outside of like
For
music I've been
sure.
listening to, I've been listening to a ton of psych rock and getting back into that mode. So I would love to hear them come back,
Mm.
but they haven't had an album come out since 2016, so I don't see it happening.
Yeah, chances are slim. It seems.
Slim, but yeah, I would like to hear maybe a new Idols record. And
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. I'm going through my list here. A lot of, I don't know, a lot of artists that I like have just been making new shit. So I guess I've been spoiled for music.
yeah, I feel like I've been so in my mode too that I haven't realized that so many bands that I like have released new albums in the last year or so, including Idols. Like I know Idols released a new record, but I haven't listened to a second of it. So like I think I've been talking about being intentional. I think that's something I'm going to try and be more intentional about. It's like
Mm.
let me go back and revisit a band I haven't listened to in a long time. That's why like Viagra Boys was so fun, man. Because I was just like so psyched that they came out with something new. And I
Yeah,
loved it,
sure.
And they're so in my mode right now where I'm like I'm kind of trying to be scummy and
You're trying to live that Viagra Boys
trying to live
life.
that Viagra Boys life in the most hygienic way possible. I still want to take a shower every day and shit, but like,
There's going to be a lot of give and take with that.
yeah, there's something about the scumbag aesthetic that I really like. I want to try and embrace the scumbag aesthetic.
All right, but well, we've been shooting the shit for looks like 4.5 hours now.
Yeah.
I feel like I probably got to get something to eat before the day's
Oh,
over.
I'm
Um,
starving, and I have a lot of shit I have to do this afternoon. But
oh fuck, dude.
yeah, but dude, this has been so much fucking fun, man, and this was such a good idea.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I don't know if this is gonna be like a yearly thing, but I think it'd be nice if it could
I
be.
think it'd be cool, or maybe we do even like a biannual thing where we just like we check in halfway through the year and what we've been
Yeah,
listening
yeah,
to and just hang out because it's crazy how much this clearly like doing this podcast together gave us a reason to fucking hang out and get together all the time. And it's like once we stopped, we both like our lives, like we have to bake this type of shit into our lives for it to happen.
yeah, man. And especially since I deleted Instagram and I'm not like keeping up with anyone on social media.
Yeah, you're a
Uh,
fucking hermit.
I don't know, man. We gotta just fucking. I miss you, man.
I miss you too. Yeah, it was just like this is such a great reason to hang out, And so yeah, man, I've tried setting up stuff up like this with different things like a movie club and a book club and all this stuff, and it's just like the only thing that has remained consistent until we decided to stop was
Until we stop doing
until we
it.
stopped doing it. But yeah, man, I think I would be totally down to do something like this more often. Doing it every week is fucking a lot to ask for, but I'd totally be doing it more
Yeah,
often.
but yeah, dude, for sure.
All right, man. Well, let's fucking stop recording. Let's say goodbye.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you all for listening. If you have, don't expect anything. Not that I thought you would be.
Don't expect
You
anything.
know,
Don't try and interact with us because there's no way to get in touch with us. But
no,
we hope you guys
locked
agreed
down.
with some of our opinions and fucking yeah, this was fun. Ash, this was good.
Lucas, this was good.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.